this, Oceanea? Yeah. Ring the bell!
The bell has sounded. Mike Quackenbush here at Commentation Station, calling for you now the finals of the Tag World Grand Prix 2018 from the Wrestle Factory here in Philadelphia. And Merlok being summoned into the ring by Oceanea to get things going. But the powerful Piranha has been pitched to the outside by the old-timey King of Swing. Merlok, one of the creatures of the deep, at the command of Oceanea.
You're going through me.
And now she'll have no choice but to face off against one of the most long-tenured and popular stars here at CHIKARA, Dasher Hatfield himself. Oceanea is starting off by ringing the arm and looking for her real catch submission hold. I think it's just too early in the contest for that, and Dasher able to muscle Oceanea up. She goes out the back door and is once again looking for her real catch submission hold. Dasher just flung her right off. She's giving up too much weight to Dasher Hatfield. One guy not giving up any weight is Merlok. Cracking away at the chest and midsection. Dasher swinging for the fences on Merlok. It'll be interesting to see the styles and the strategy of these two teams. Oh, Oceanea interrupting Dasher Hatfield. The Throwbacks have spent more time between the bells getting here to the finals. Their opening round match against Des Pelleton over 14 minutes. They spent nearly 12 ousting Crummels and DeFarge from the tournament. So about 25 minutes in ring already. And of course, what characterizes that is the rib injury suffered in the semifinals by Mr. Touchdown Mark Angelicetti. And we do not know the extent of this injury, as he obviously has not left the Wrestle Factory to be x-rayed or anything. We just know that our ringside physician is allowing this to go on, and Mr. Touchdown he's just taped up. There's nothing else going on here. He's not wearing a belt or anything else to protect those ribs, and quite honestly, I don't know what would protect them. If they are bruised or they are cracked, you can put on all the athletic tape in the world, Sabu, and it's not gonna protect you, especially when you're in there against a competitor as dangerous as Merlok. And it's going to be at our referee's discretion. Our senior official and acting director of fun, Bryce Remsburg, is going to be at his discretion what's going on. And I know he could throw this match out if he wanted to, if he feels Mark is unable to defend himself. But there's a lot on the line here in the finals of the Tag World Grand Prix, bragging rights being just one of those things. The other is 3 points. If you win the Tag World Grand Prix, you'll have done it by winning 3 tag team matches in a row, and that earns you 3 points or a future title shot. Either one of these two teams could go on to challenge the reigning Campeones de Parejas, the Closers, 2 of the biggest and strongest men on our entire roster. Merlok drags Mark Angelicetti back into the corner, so Oceanea, who's got that sadistic grin across her visage, can just stomp away at the injured ribcage of Mr. Touchdown. A real story we have watched unfold over the last 2 seasons here at CHIKARA has been this dark metamorphosis of the former Ashley Vox into Oceanea. Some of this came at the sacrifice of her mentor, O'Barian, who transferred some of his dark power directly to Oceanea. And now she commands the likes of Merlok. She commands the likes of the Hermit Crab or the Cajun Crawdad, her so-called creatures of the deep. And she delights in inflicting pain and suffering on others. The pain and suffering that, as she tells it, she suffered through the loss of her sister and through other losses that she suffered in seasons past. Now she takes it out on her opponents. She's taking it out right now on Mr. Touchdown. Just grinding a knuckle duster into the injured ribs of Mark Angelicetti, and look at Merlok from the outside. Illegal interference as he's putting a squeeze on the midsection of Mr. Touchdown. Now, if you've ever had a rib injury of any kind, you know it hurts even just to take a deep breath. To fill your lungs with air is like a stabbing pain in your side. It's side stitches times 100. And that's what Mr. Touchdown is going through right now, and somehow continues to fight on. These guys want their 3 points, and in the case of Dasher and Touchdown, they would be the first tag team in CHIKARA history to ever win the Tag World Grand Prix twice. They won it back in 2014, beating the Devastation Corporation. They went on, they reigned as Campeones de Parejas here at CHIKARA. No team has ever won 2 Tag World Grand Prix, and this is a tradition of ours that goes back to Season 2. It's been around for 15 years here at CHIKARA. We started off with 8. We've got just 2 teams left. And Oceanea and Merlok, they are the fresher of the 2 teams. Make no mistake about it. Took them just 14 minutes combined to get here in defeating Los Ice Creams and the Rumblebees of Solo Darling and Travis Huckabee to arrive here at the finals. They are fresher, and given the injury to Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti, they are the more dangerous duo because this is, in many senses, a handicap match for Dasher Hatfield. And the longer Touchdown is in the ring, the less likely, in my opinion, the throwbacks are going to repeat. Touchdown's just doing anything he can here. Oh, he has already absorbed so much punishment in this tournament. And Merlok just continues to unload with the heavy artillery on Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti. Just a fine athlete here, former Young Lions Cup champion. That really epic final of his in Indianapolis, Indiana, where he defeated ACH, one of the all-time greatest matches in CHIKARA history. He is out here, can barely get up off of his back. Oceanea able to get a 2 count over Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti, who gamely fights on. A lesser athlete wouldn't even come out for the finals. A lesser athlete would have given up already. And look at this. Touchdown trying to pick up the 7-10 split, fighting back and forth between Oceanea and Merlok. Able to clamp a side headlock on. Oceanea sends him for the ride, drops flat. Bryce drops flat as well. And Bryce staying flat. Oh, he sailed right over the top to drop that leg on Oceanea. But he jammed his own ribs doing it. Just that shockwave going up through your body. And yeah, you need to tag. Mark Angelicetti needs to get over there and tag. And Merlok able to just reach out and grab onto that athletic tape, which I think is doing more harm than good. And while Bryce tries to get Oceanea back, what is going on the floor? Whoa! Merlok took Mr. Touchdown all the way to the floor with what looked like a vertical suplex, and Dasher scrambling to the rescue of his step-cousin-in-law. He was just too late. There was nothing to be done. Bryce trying to create that little bit of separation, but that allowed Merlok to drag Touchdown right through the middle rope there and then elevate him into a vertical suplex. Boy, if those ribs weren't hurting before, you better believe they are on fire now. Oceanea drags Mr. Touchdown back toward Merlok. And the fresh man enters the ring. Mr. Touchdown barely moving here. I have never seen Mark Angelicetti take this kind of punishment. And the stakes are all so high. Tag World Grand Prix 2018, 3 points on the line. The chance to be the only 2-time Tag World Grand Prix champions. And Mr. Touchdown is just in the wrong part of town. Tag team wrestling, you gotta cut that ring in half. Keep the partners away from each other. And he's deep in the corner of Merlok and Oceanea. That, I assure you, is the wrong part of town. Trying to hang on to that bottom rope for all he's worth. Mark's climbing up to the middle rope. He can barely hold on, and Oceanea's up on top! Oh! Both feet like a lawn dart right to the midsection. Look at the grin on her face once again. Dasher coming in to aid his family. And as Bryce Remsburg tries to get Dasher Hatfield to keep his emotions in check, well, that's only going to last so long. Dasher's trying to push Mark out of the ring. If Touchdown touches the floor and Dasher's in the ring, Dasher becomes legal by default. Our system of rules borrowed from Lucha Libre allows for this. Mark does not need to make a hand-to-hand tag, but he does need to evacuate the ring. And if both feet touch the floor, then Dasher can legally enter the ring. But Bryce has about had it with the chicanery and shenanigans today at the Tag World Grand Prix. And I think if Mark cannot tag, if he cannot trigger a tag or make a hand-to-hand tag in the next few minutes here, this one is going to be over. He is really in trouble and desperately needs to tag. Looking for their double team here, trying to set... Oh boy, this is dangerous, dangerous territory. Mark trying to strike away at Oceanea while clamping that headlock onto Merlok. I don't know how you fight your... Well, look at this. Mark is somehow doing it. He is fighting his way out of trouble. And Merlok turning his gaze back while Mark, I think he wants that superplex. There's just no room for this. Merlok is right behind him, and I admire that Mark is trying to do anything he can to pick up the win here, but he is just in the wrong part of town. Precariously perched up on the top turnbuckle, Mr. Touchdown and Oceanea. If he's thinking about that superplex, I know this is one of his pet moves, but that is going to send a shockwave all the way through your body. Oceanea's feet hitting the ceiling in the Wrestle Factory, our home base and training center here in Philadelphia. Whoa! Hard impact, but Mr. Touchdown has really paid a price. He is just writhing in pain. He's showing us a whole lot of heart. Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti, just an arm's distance, he makes the tag. The old-timey King of Swing is legal, and Dasher Hatfield can't wait to unload on Merlok. Spins through, caught him, intercept, he scoops him up. Look at the power of Hatfield. Plants him with authority. Huge body slam by Dasher Hatfield, and Merlok goes right out of the ring. Here comes Oceanea. Up and around, jackhammer. He's got her. Hook of the leg. Only two, and Oceanea kicks out. Dasher Hatfield is one of the very strongest men on our entire roster. And he's going to need all that strength and all those years of experience if he wants to get past both Oceanea and Merlok. One more time, looking for the submission hold, the real catch, and she is breaking Dasher down. Great technique on the part of Oceanea. She's got this thing clamped on. Wildly painful submission hold has led her to victory over some of our very finest, and Dasher Hatfield's in a world of hurt. The members of the CHIKARA, the Philly faithful, rallying behind the old-timey King of Swing, and at the last possible second, somehow, Mr. Touchdown summoned the wherewithal to come to the rescue. Now it's Dasher Hatfield headed out of the ring, and I don't know about this as an idea. Mark's just fighting on pure instinct here, because the smart thing to do would be stay out of the ring. All the way across the hypotenuse of the ring, Oceanea comes charging right into a spine buster. Touchdown, he's looking for the cover. Oh, he just needed to drive more with the legs, and I think he just doesn't have it left in his body. After that match with Des Pelleton, following up by facing Crumbles and Defarge and that rib injury suffered when colliding with the ring post, I don't know how Mark Angelicetti's doing it. One more time, gonna try and take Merlok. I don't know. Lifting a guy that big for the flea flicker, that seems like mission impossible if you ask me. I give Mark all the credit in the world for trying. Once again, he catches, ran right out into a super kick from Merlok. Oceanea's got him, shoulders down, no! Bryce Resnick can't believe it either. 2.5, says Bryce. What an outstanding performance, top to bottom today, by Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti. And I don't like his odds at all. But throughout the Tag World Grand Prix today, we have really seen a performance for the ages. I think, unfortunately, if these two are able to connect with, I think this is exactly what they're setting up right now, the tidal wave. We've seen the devastating effect of this wild double team move. Keep your eye on Oceanea and Merlok, because together their combined inertia will come crashing down. And Dasher's keeping his eye on the action. I don't know if Oceanea's looking for Dasher. Almost able to sling Merlok down onto Touchdown, but luckily Dasher knew what was in store. And now it's Dasher with a Cyclone neckbreaker. It's a wild ride. Oceanea out of the ring. Oh, Emerald Flosion, this should be it. Merlok on top. 1, 2, no, it's Touchdown to the rescue again. Such a close near fall. certain death with that tidal wave, Dasher had the presence of mind to pull his step-cousin-in-law out of the ring, and somehow, incredibly, Touchdown fights on. Scooping him up. Looking for that Emerald Flosion, his calling card. No, Touchdown out the back door. Just pounding away on that arm. Oh, he broke him down. And Touchdown, looking for that submission hold of his. He's got it clamped on. Hanging on tight. We have only ever seen Merlok give up once. We're going to be seeing history right here if Merlok taps out. But he's working his way back to a vertical base and muscling Touchdown up off the mat. That is a feat of strength. Dasher and Oceanea out on the floor. Mark and Merlok all alone in the ring. Oh, right to the ribs. Mark gives chase. Pat O'Connor roll. Mark's looking for that back bridge. Hook of the leg. It's three. It's three. It's three. Dasher, Hatfield, and Mr. Touchdown snatch victory from the clutches of defeat.